Alright, I told you I was going to be another video coming. It's here. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what you want me to talk about next time. But, like I said before, today we're going to talk about Ready Player 2, which came out a few days ago, the 24th of November, 2020. So, I just finished the book late last night / early this morning, and I took a few notes. Now, I'm pretty sure if you've already been looking around to hear about the book before buying it, I'm pretty sure you've already heard a lot of negative reviews. A lot of people are panning the book and this, that, and the third. I'm going to try to not do that. I'm going to try to point out a lot of the good things that the book did, but I cannot ignore some of the bad things that a lot of people are talking about because I saw the same things. So, of course, Ready Player 2 is a sequel to Ernest Cline's breakout hit, Ready Player 1, which came out a few years ago, I believe 2016, 2017-ish. And, of course, it spawned that huge movie made by Spielberg, which grossed so much money that it might actually be a big reason why this book is getting drugged through the mud so hard. All right. This is what we did with the book. I read it. Well, I did the audiobook narrated by Will Wheaton. I'm gonna go ahead and just ignore the audio versions of it because that's one person reading it versus you reading it yourself. So we're gonna just focus on the content itself, the book itself, and the ideas that it presents. All right. We broke this down on a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It comes out kind of even, but there are a few more thumbs down than thumbs up, and I'll explain why. First up, one of the cool things about the book is the same thing that was cool about the first one, is that, thumbs up. A lot of the worlds visited in the book are extremely cool. Like the settings, there's one world where it's basically Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, a whole planet dedicated to him, which was cool. There was another world where it's basically John Hughes films all over the place. 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, all of that. And a big setting there was Shermer High School. And there have been a couple of different versions of Shermer High School throughout a couple of different movies. And it's supposedly a suburb outside of Chicago. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to try not to spoil a lot of things. But that part alone was pretty cool. Just the inclusion of so many different characters. You bump into somebody. Oh, hey, yeah, you're that one kid off of Ferris Bueller. Oh, hey, you're that one girl off of blah, blah, blah. It was kind of cool. But for that thumbs up, you have to also look at the thumbs down on it. Every character that you bumped into, you had to have like just a full exposition as to who this character was, who the actress was, why that actress was chosen, what this scene. It takes a lot of fun out of the Easter eggs when they pop up so often and you get a full breakdown as to, hey, by the way, did you guys know this about this and this and this and this? Like there's an actual part in the book where Z is walking around and he says he has his visor on to where it's giving him info as he goes along, kind of like the old VH1 show, pop up video. They reference pop up video, and it's kind of ironic because the whole book kind of reads like a long pop up video novel. It kind of takes you out of the action of the book itself when every time a new character is or a new Easter egg or a new cool token character or whatever pops up, you get a full juxtaposition of it. And it like I said, it kind of pulls you out of the action and takes you straight into your mind, which is not what you want to do in a book like this. All right, so that was a thumbs down. One thumbs up And let me make sure that I give this thumbs up. Before I go here, let me say I'm not a member of the LGBTQ community. I can't speak for you guys. I don't want to take it upon myself to speak for you guys because I don't know what you guys go through. Okay. I don't know. I can't downplay it. I won't downplay it. I know that there are struggles. I know that you guys have to go through things. I can't voice them because I don't know. See, this is a road I don't really want to go down because I don't want to offend anyone because I love everybody. I want everybody to be as happy as they can possibly be, okay? So just anything that I say that you guys might find offensive, please leave it in the comments. Let me know. Teach me, okay? Now, thumbs up to the inclusion of open-mindedness and acceptance in this book. There's a character that was born a male but identifies as female. And the way that they do it with the avatar was kind of cool because this particular character has an avatar, but that character's avatar switches at the character's will. It can switch between a female avatar and a male avatar. And that's cool. One thing that's not cool about it, this is the thumbs down. Well, hold on. You know what? Let's back up. Because there's that character, and of course there's H. And in Ready Player One, it was a big reveal, in the book at least, it was a big reveal that H, who throughout the whole novel you thought was a guy, turns out to actually be a black lesbian, just, who took on the avatar of a Caucasian male because she felt it would be more accepted and she would face fewer problems. She would face fewer barriers because that avatar would be perceived as more welcomed, more accepted. So that was a big thing in Ready Player One. The movie kind of downplayed it, but they're doubling down on it in Ready Player Two. There's a non-binary character in Ready Player Two that can switch, avatars and all of that. And that's cool. Having H as a lesbian woman who's actually engaged in this book. That's cool. Like, that's dope. Is one thing that a lot of sci-fi has, which has kind of, once you open your eyes to it, it kind of irritates you. Most sci-fi leans on the idea, most futuristic sci-fi leans on the idea that the future will just be white dudes. And I got nothing against white dudes. I'm cool with white dudes, look, but in the future, every starship is just, besides Star Trek, you can't really, I don't know. This is a road I don't want to go down. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to say it's cool. The inclusion, the open-mindedness is cool. That's the thumbs up. But on the flip side, the thumbs down is when that open-mindedness and that sense of inclusion turns, it goes a little too far and it seems like it's pandering. H doesn't always have to be the sassy, loud-mouthed black girl. Sometimes she can sit back and be cool. She doesn't have to be the one to get like super excited, and she doesn't have to be the one to always say, "That's stupid, fool," or something. That's pandering. And when the non-binary character is introduced, again, it's one of those things where there's so much info taken. She was born as a male, but she identifies as female, and it made me consider and this, that, and the third. And it becomes pandering, and it got way more political than it needed to be. And that says a lot because a lot of sci-fi has always been political. 1984 has been political. Star Trek has been political. Fahrenheit 451 has been political. Like, so many classic sci-fi movies and books and characters. Doctor Who is always political. but in the way where it shows acceptance. It doesn't necessarily preach it so much as it just goes about showing it, right? This book has too many instances where it's just really preachy. It's just preachy, on a pulpit, Bible thumping, preachy. And it doesn't need to be. It really doesn't need to be. Ernest Cline showed with Ready Player One that he's capable of writing something that's actually good. He's capable of writing things that actually get people's attention and actually draw a fan base. You don't need to go so hard just to, hey guys, come on in. You too, come on in. Nah, man, that's not necessary. It's inclusive to the point of pandering to the point of you really just doing this just to get our money. And once that's understood, it kind of saps some of the interest away. So that's a big thumbs down. Another thumbs up. A lot of references to a lot of different media properties. That's the kind of thing that got Ready Player One so much acclaim in the first place, was because it spoke to the geek in so many different people. Like even people that just had passing interests in, oh yeah, I'll see a superhero movie every so often. Oh yeah, I know Spider-Man. Well, if they loved, Back to the Future as a kid, they loved Ready Player One. If they loved Ghostbusters as a kid, they checked out Ready Player One. Hey, yeah, I remember that. And it was so that part was so inclusive because it brought in, like I said, so many people that don't identify as geek, don't identify as nerds or blurs or Whovians or anything of that nature. Like so many people that are just normal, that don't have a foot in this in this world, were able to read that book or hear that book or see that movie and say, you know what, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool, because it brought back so many nostalgic memories. So that was definitely cool. But the thumbs down on that is that, again, kind of like I just mentioned, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, all of the same notes that were played in the first one were played in the second one. And that kind of defeats the purpose, because if you just wanted to read about Ghostbusters or Back to the Future and Doc Brown or Dungeons and Dragons and all of that, you could have just read the first one and been done. There are so many minor properties that got no love in either book. And again, you know what? That might not be a thumbs down so much as a thumbs sideways. As a geek, and if you are a geek and you're watching this, you have a lot of different properties and characters and all of that in your mind that you would have just loved to have stumbled upon, turn the page and, oh, hey, he just mentioned Captain Power from 1980, blah, blah, blah. That would have been dope. Or just name dropping random characters from different iterations of non-mainstream video games. Now, one big plot that they had, well, not necessarily plot, but one major challenge that he had did involve a video game that a lot of people don't know about, Sega Ninja. And that was cool because it wasn't Mario, it wasn't Sonic, it wasn't Donkey Kong, it wasn't one of those games that was huge to everybody. It was a game that, and again, this might seem like pandering to a certain extent, but yeah, even the inclusion of that game was more of a let's do this one for the ladies. Which actually doesn't, this is another reason why it's just thumb sideways. It might seem like, they're just doing this for the ladies, but you have to take into account the plot of this book is actually female centric, because the plot of the book is about trying to find the 7 shards that will resurrect the siren's soul. It sounds beautiful. It sounds poetic. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. So yeah, we just had that as a thumb sideways. Well, actually, that was a part of the next thumbs up. The fresh properties that were explored. Like I said, the Sega Ninja Master, that was one of the properties that definitely wasn't explored in the first one. That actually seems to be about it as far as the major new properties that were that were explored. But as far as that thumbs up, the thumbs down on it is, like I said before, there are so many instances in this book where it just seems less like an actual story taking place, less like an adventure taking place, and more like you're just flipping through random Wikipedia pages, to the point where a song will pop up and you'll hear, okay, yeah, this is this song by this artist from this year on this album, and it played during this scene on this movie. It's too much. There is a point where something good can become too much, and I think that threshold was hit. That line was crossed too many times. A big reason why this book got so many thumbs downs, got just as many thumbs downs, thumbs down as thumbs ups, however you want to call it. The reason it got so many X's as check marks is because ultimately this book, for all of its highs, for all of its lows, it was really just a big money grab. That's not an accusation. That's not slander. That's not, me throwing shots or anything of that nature. That's honestly from Ernest Cline's mouth himself. In a lot of different interviews, as Ready Player One, the movie, was being made, and after Ready Player One became a hit on the box office, Ernest Cline pretty much admitted that he had already began looking to do the sequel, Ready Player Two, because of the reception that Ready Player One had. But once it became a phenomenon and everybody was throwing money at it, yeah, it was okay. Well, let's see if we can't go ahead and, see if we can't let lightning strike twice. But it didn't. It didn't. The book was fast tracked. After the movie for Ready Player One was released and was so successful, to the point where Steven Spielberg, who actually said that Ready Player One was the third hardest movie he ever had to make, he actually helped write this book. If that doesn't say money grab, I don't know what will. If that doesn't take a lot of the heart and the fun out of the book, I don't know what will. And again, this isn't just an opinion. Like, that's fact. It's been quoted in interviews as that being the case. And with that being the case, you kind of find out everything you need to know about the book. In that it's, like I said, it's pandering. And that hurts it in so many different ways. If you wanted to just get the money, you could have turned it into a TV show. You could have turned it into just went straight to another movie. You could have just, like, so many different ways of doing that. But doing it as a sequel to such a loved property, that's not the way to do it. I don't know, guys. As far as I go, out of a 10-star rating, I got to give this book maybe 6, close to 5.5, but we're going to stick with 6 just because, again, it's one of those properties, it's one of those things that, you're going to read. If you love the first one, you're going to read it. If you liked any of those big pop culture references, or even if you liked any of those big pop culture properties, you're gonna slightly enjoy it. But there are too many things in this book that take you out of the book itself. Um, like even the inclusion of, well, for one, our main characters, Z or Percival. Um, in Ready Player One, he was the underdog. He was the the strappy, scrappy. Uh, he could do it, dude. You just gotta try. You just gotta try. You can do it. In Ready Player Two, the book starts off with him being a rich jerk, like to the point of cyber stalking and getting away with it because it's his system now. Like he can do everything undetected, and he does everything undetected. And it's they try their best to make it appear like it's more of a mature book. You're looking at it from a way more mature aspect, and it takes too long for the characters to find familiar ground and for the adventure to actually get going, which again hurts it because you spend so much time listening to him talking about, cyber stalking, talking about different situations that are available in the Oasis, talking about a bunch of different just a bunch of different negative feelings regarding his breakup and all of that. He seems like a very depressed character at the beginning of the book. That by the time you find yourself rooting for him, you're kind of halfway done with the book by that point. Another thing that doesn't really help is some of the characters don't really have a big payoff. There are so many ideas thrown into this book. Artificial intelligence plays a big role. Time travel plays a minor part. Just identity of self, it plays a big part. And again, like I said, that's cool, but not to the point of the pandering that they have. One thing that definitely could have been cool would have just been, instead of just explaining the non-binary character, actually having her use her different avatars in different ways. That would have been so cool, but they didn't. It's like they threw it in there just to say, hey, we got a character that identifies as a female but was born a male, and that's cool. But then they don't do anything else with it. Like, even when that character meets the rest of the high five, there's no use of it. The character is sent on basically a spy mission, and they never mention, oh, by the way, they didn't even realize it was this character because that character was that character. Like, that would have been so cool, but nah, it's just doesn't even matter. Ultimately, like I said, that's the biggest downfall of the book, is they're throwing so many different things at it that worked the first time, but this time around, the first time it felt like they were throwing it and everything was, all right, guys, this is gonna be fun. Let's go play catch. But on this time around, on Ready Player 2, it just feels like you miss the shots you don't take, so let's just throw everything and see what works. And so much of it just doesn't. Anyway, as you see, it's getting dark out here. This video, the lights have really gone down from when I started this video. So I'm gonna turn on my dome light just for a second, just to say thank you for watching. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Like the video, subscribe, leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. Let's discuss the book in comments or whatever. Tell me what else you want me to talk about next time, because I'm gonna keep doing this. You're not gonna get rid of me that easily. But thank you for showing up. Talk to you later. Have a happy Turkey Day. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Love you all.